President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu promises to meet the expectations of Nigerians. Please, guys, watch the video.
Well, the president-elect is back. Now, let's look at some issues. For instance, the symbolism of his emergence as president at this time. You know, he's the first former governor and former senator to now be elected and declared president-elect.
Before now, they used to call him Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Jagaban of Bogu, Ariel Onuji, this, that. Now is the president-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So the former governor of Lagos State, a former senator, yes, but the reality now that in less than 30 days is going to be sworn in as the 16th president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that comes with enormous. The Bola Tinubu used to know before is no longer the Bola Tinubu you know now, because I've seen power changing hand. I saw in 2015 when Muhammadu Buhari was a candidate, I escorted him to his polling unit to actually cast his votes. I knew immediately he won that election. I witnessed the change of guards. I witnessed the change of status. I witnessed how everything transformed from the liberal, free-talking Muhammadu Buhari to the very powerful ambience around Muhammadu Buhari. So what you're going to see with Bola Tinubu now is that change of protocol, change of security, change of everything around him is going to witness change. And as a matter of fact, he's not obliged to actually operate from the defense house, but as a matter of protocol, he might have to move in days ahead to the defense house before going to Aso Rock. It's mandatory. We have to stay in Aso Rock to be sworn in as the president after being sworn in as of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
So importantly, his supporters also should not take offense because
no, he's not the person who can always knock at his door. No. It's a president to 200 million Nigerians. He has the problem of 200 million Nigerians right on the table. We run a federal system of government, a unitary system of government, named the federal system of government, at everything, 68 items on the exclusive list, everything is narrowed down to the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Right now, 33% unemployment rate. Right now, double-digit inflation figure, that's 21.05. Right now, what we are having, Nigeria is called the poverty capital of the world. So it behoves on the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to change those narratives, because this administration, today's on the 24th, in the next 30 days, they will be taking their leave. And we refer to this kind of administration, Muhammadu Buhari, as a lame duck administration. No, they might not really do. So all owners, all attention will now be on the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
And working for the actualization of that inauguration is the transition committee, which has now been set up.
Yes, we expected, you know, when you after attending 5,000 conferences, town hall meetings, and rallies combined, you needed that rest. You had to go, you know. And during that arrest, a lot of people speculated. Some said it's dead, some said it's crippled, some said it cannot walk. But the Bola Tinubu I saw today, the Bola Tinubu you saw today, and everything. You know, Nigerians, because of that election, you know, the fallout of the election actually divided the country. And we just, the first thing we must do is how to unite the country, to bring everything together, to bring everybody together. And is not just a president of the million people that vote on Nigerians. So what people will expect him to do is to work so hard to bring back this country to national cohesion and unity, so that we can have the necessary development. If you are not united, meaningful development can take place.
And he seems fixated on that because it's something he keeps repeating. And even when he was asked questions about what he plans to do in the administration, he mentions that, oh no, you don't work alone, you don't govern alone. He needs to consult with people so that they take decisions that would be for the benefits of the over 200 million Nigerians.
Our system of government, our presidential system of government is, you know, gives so much power to the president. It's just being modest, you know, by saying he must consult with his party, talking about the upcoming election of the National Assembly, that they have to choose their leadership. You must work with his political party to actually get a direction for, you know, how to zone the position, the Senate President, the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, the Deputy Senate President, all principal officers of the National Assembly must be zoned, and the party must work it out. And moving forward, we don't expect the administration of Bola Tinubu to stay 6 months before naming his minister. You know, that was one of the biggest mistakes that was made by the administration of Muhammadu Buhari. He waited before he could choose his ministers, to choose his cabinet. It took him 6 months. Nigerians want Bola Tinubu to hit the ground running. That's head or tail. 1 month after inauguration, the administration will have a direction.
Indeed, and the people are really looking forward to that. Now, let's talk about some of the things that happened while he was away, some of the events. Talk about the supplementary election, which held, and of course, his chat to supporters to be calm and peaceful and to, just expect the best. He seems to be a man of...
It was and if you look at it, the sequence of the election, the presidential and national assembly election took place on the 25th. So it took another 3 weeks after the extension of the governorship and the House of Assembly election, and it took another 3 weeks again for all supplementary elections across the country to be concluded. So these are the people he's going to work with. He's going to work with, he has emerged as the president, he's going to work with the members of the National Assembly, that's House of Representatives 360, 109 members of the House of the Senate. He's going to work with members of all the 36 state houses of assembly across the country, and that's why he had to congratulate them and to tell them to brace up for the task ahead, that they have to work and they have to work for Nigerians. And as a matter of leadership, when you look at the sequence, the president is the biggest deal. And so he had to congratulate every other elected public officials, and it needs the synergy to work together so that they can move the country forward.
Of course, people could see that he was ready to take over and to work.
Yes, because it's a very difficult position. It's a very difficult task. And he will take some policies, he will take some decisions that will make him quite unpopular initially. The president must hit the ground running, must take a decision on the almighty fuel subsidy. Yes, in the budget, this administration had said that in the middle of this year that the fuel subsidy will be removed. And if the removal of certain subsidy, it might just lead to you buying a liter of fuel for 700 naira, 800 naira per liter. Will Bola Tinubu live with that unpopularity at the first month of his administration? Will he have to do something? Will he subsidy? He said so during the campaign that he is going to remove the subsidy. How he's going to do the palliative and some other things, and some other difficult decisions will be left to Bola Tinubu days ahead of this administration. I don't envy him as an incoming president. He has a stable field up, and we have to just pray for him and just wish him well.
And of course, there's also the matter at the tribunal about the election outcome and all of that.
Regardless of what is in the tribunal is expected. You're expected to file your petition within first 21 days, and after filing your petition, the tribunal of the Court of Appeal will sit for 180 days before it becomes statute bad. After 180 days, it will proceed to the Supreme Court with 2 months. That's 60 days. So give or take, Bola Tinubu is going to be sworn in May 29. Tribunal or no tribunal, is going to be sworn in May 29.
And then people would expect that
yes, after his inauguration, then the court process will take its place. We still have 180 days and another 6 months in the Supreme Court for him to know his fate.
All right, let's talk about the National Assembly race. I know you mentioned something about it earlier. The leadership of the National Assembly, how would the APC handle this? Because citizens are actually waiting to hear from them. Before now, some lawmakers were beginning to try to curry favors, trying to seek the support of people, but then the party needs to speak on which zone handles what seat.
In order not to create a situation that happened during the 8th Assembly, the executive arm of government will need the legislative arm of government, as in a kind of synergy will be needed. And the president, this kind of president you voted into power, let me just tell you, it will not be the kind of president that will just sit and akimbo and will say, the National Assembly, go and choose your leader. No, that would not happen.
He wants to be involved.
Yes, he's going to be involved with his party. He's a politically, a conscious president. You want to see people that he can work with, people that can help him out in carrying out, implementing all the policies, bills coming to the National Assembly so it can be passed as one. People that he can really work with. So you're not going to have a good time when you just sit and you allow anybody to emerge as the leadership, and we have friction between the executive and the legislative arm of government. And trust me, Bola Tinubu is not a politician like that. Trust me, something is in the pipeline. Days ahead, he will meet with the National Working Committee of the APC. Days ahead, he will meet with his political party and the leadership of the National Assembly, and they will agree and accept zoning formula. And at the end of the day, there might not even be an election for the disposition of the principal officer. It might just go on the way of consensus. They might just build consensus so that it's going to be rancor-free. At the end of the day, that's what I foresee.
And I would really be on the most diverse National Assembly we've had so far.
Yeah.
Different political parties represented.
Yeah, we're talking about diversity in the House of, in the Senate right now, if I'm not mistaken, out of 109, we have 52 senators. That's giving a clear majority to the All Progressive Congress. In the House of Representatives, if I'm not mistaken, again, we have 165. If I get my figures right, from the last supplementary election, out of 360, clearly giving majority. Now, in the 8th Assembly, in the 9th Assembly, we used to have, before now, we used to have a kind of seeming balance of power. But that balance of power, the only political party close to it is the People's Democratic Party, with the number of senators. And when you look at the statistics, I just wish the producer can just give us the number of senators we have from the Labour Party and other fringe parties. We have from the Social Democratic Party 2 senators from Nasarawa State, I think 33 from the Labour Party, and we have senators from all the 3 senatorial districts from Kano State, from NNPP. And we also have a Senator Ifeanyi Ubah from the Young Democratic YPP, Young People's Party in Anambra State. So that is the picture of the diversity of the National Assembly. But it is not all 18 political parties that participated in the 2023 general election that will be having clear representative in the National Assembly. It's a majority for the All Progressive Congress.
And that should make legislating quite easy.
Quite easy, but a lot of people will tell you that for the principle of separation of powers, for there to be check and balances, we need, a National Assembly that will give the president a kind of run for his money.
So not a rubber stamp kind of legislature.
Yes, they don't want the kind of what they will tell you that Ahmed Lawal said if the president asks him to jump, that is going to ask how high. That a lot of Nigerians didn't go down with a lot of go down well with a lot of Nigerians. They wanted a National Assembly that would be firm and actually not be a rubber stamp to the executive.
Well, it's just about 35 days away, and Nigerians and the world actually will witness the inauguration of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as President, Federal Republic of Nigeria.